Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. I hope you're well. And unfortunately, the Wolf won't be with us today. He's just in the car coming back from his little long weekend. The good news is he didn't find any gold, so he's stuck with us. He ain't going to be leaving us anytime soon. Just have a quick look really at some of the announcements today, and I think the one a lot of people talk about is DTC. Really very similar, very positive announcement. Revenue is up. They look like they're going to be sort of cash flow positive towards next year. They got two very, very big contracts in. Very exciting, really, pretty good. So let's have a look at them. At the end of the day, it's a bit of a recovery play. And you can see there will be a little bit of resistance up here if it starts hitting that 31. But if you can actually look at the daily, I think it's going to have another little leg up tomorrow. It doesn't look too bad at all. And I think if it ends the day like this, around this sort of 24, 25 cents, got a little bicycle on the daily, this is a perfect setup to go a little bit higher tomorrow. So yeah, possibly a trade up to that sort of 30 cents level. And I think looking pretty good. Whisper, actually, it's all about market expectations, what the market's expecting. But I thought Whisper came out again with a similar announcement really to DTC, very strong. But again, not strong enough for the market at the moment with Whisper. At the moment, on that weekly, it's struggling a little bit. It can't go past that trend line. And again, on the daily, just not going on with it. So I think if I was in this, I'd still be holding it. I'd be using that 106 as my stop loss by the end of the day. I think if it went below 106, I'd be getting out. But otherwise, I'd be holding the story because, again, I thought the announcement was pretty good. And I think just let the market read into it, let it soak it in. And you might see this hopefully reverse tomorrow and start doing a little bit better. SDV, long-term favorite from Equity Story. Now, unfortunately, if you look at that weekly chart, it's just been in this really ugly downturn, hasn't it, from 80 cents? Again, a strong announcement. The company's never really failed to deliver. Arguably just maybe a little bit oversold. Now, is it tradable? And certainly when you look at that, you look at this bounce, there's no reason why I couldn't get back and retest that 40 cents level. So what you got to do is flick on the daily and think, well, where's your stop loss going to be? And I think, if you're going to buy this, you're going to say, you're going to use that top area there, aren't you? And you're going to say to yourself, that high where it closed last week, 27, I think if it goes below 27 cents, say 26.5 on a daily, you'd be getting out. Otherwise, yeah, definitely you could hold on there for the ride, or even have a little nibble at this. Could do reasonably well. But please use your stop loss. Again, playing with these daily charts can be fraught with danger. Nanosonics, again, just not enough for the market. They didn't see enough growth there. They didn't see enough contract wins, and the stock's been sold down. And it actually didn't look too bad, did it, on the daily beforehand? And if you look on the weekly, likewise, it was just starting to poke its little head up. But unfortunately, if that sort of price action on that sort of announcement, you'd be getting out. Flight Centre still losing a lot of money. Okay, it's up 5%, but would you be buying that? No. Would you be buying it on the daily? Definitely not at all. Oz Minerals, they've really had some cost issues, and I think it's interesting to see they're obviously having a lot of margin squeeze. They're finding these obviously inflation issues are starting to kick in there, and as a result, they're down sort of 3.91% at the moment. And if you put them on the weekly, they're still looking very, very weak actually, and I don't think you'd be even looking at getting into this one. Likewise, S32, the opposite. They've done really, really well. They managed to keep their costs largely under control. So that's a real kick up for management, and well played, sir. But really, does it look that interesting to buy? Certainly, again, it's a sector, isn't it? We're getting this big sell-off. The resources, unless they're really getting a fantastic dividend out of them, they just don't look interesting. And again, if you look at that S32, really that chart not interesting at all. And ASB got a few more contract wins today, and you can see why their chart's been holding up and looking pretty good. And I think if you're in ASB, 2 good contract wins, again, you could possibly look at. I wouldn't be buying it, but you'd still be holding it. just have a quick look at Einstein's. What interesting, if there are any interesting stocks. Now we put AIM as the hot stock. You look at AIM, it's trading at 1 times revenue. I think DTC, is cheap at 2. You can see AIM really coming back and at least retesting this 52 cents level. If you look at it on the daily, it's starting to break up a little bit and starting to move that way. Hopefully a decent announcement of these guys, and we're going to start making some money with them. So very pleased to see the price action we had on AGL. It's a hot stock that did extremely well last week. Let's have a look at 2 weeks ago. Let's have a look at ALC, see if they're starting to move a little bit up. And again, yes, not looking too bad, are they? So I think that ALC, definitely if you're in that hot stock, just hold it. Hopefully it'll have that nice little move up, maybe 16 or 18 cents, and certainly AIM. I think it's a great little hot stock that. But remember, these are risky because we're using the daily chart. So please, guys, make sure you use those stop losses. Generally speaking, actually, looking at the market, it's pretty flat today. But we had a few nice buy signals. I think let me get to these buy signals. We're going to have a look at them. I think Beach looked pretty good, didn't it? It's early days at the moment, but it's certainly in the right sector. TER had again a nice buy signal. MAD, nice, good story. This one again, possibly a sign they could have some good announcements around the corner. Had a little buy signal. Maybe the only one we actually had as a preferred trend, I think Orica. Good little buy signal, good price action, nice little breakout. This is most probably in the blue chip stories that we had out on Einstein's, maybe my favorite one. Good story, breakout, and come on, you got to go on with it now. Hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks it will. Cobalt again had a great little buy signal, great price action last week, and one would be surprised with that sort of price action they don't go on with it, have a better move up, as did little BCB. So obviously coal doing reasonably well, and a great little price action really, and hopefully should go on with it and have a nice little move up, and at least try and retest that maybe 35 or 36 cents. A number of bullish shares certainly really caught my eye was COG, good little dividend player, very solid story over a period of time, and certainly that'd be one I'd be having a look at. As with little Vicinity, again, little dividend play, shopping centers. This was trading at 260 before the COVID. I don't think it's ever really recovered, but I thought the breakout last week was very, very good. So again, one worth getting on your watch list, one worth having a look at. ACL, again, a good looking chart, and one would think, with all this horrible COVID like resurgence that we've seen, ACL should be a good little place to have a nibble and maybe retest somewhere around just under that $6 level. And one I did actually quite like that isn't doing much, but we know Power Holdings, we know it's a little bit expensive, but we know the story is very, very good, and we've seen a nice little jump over trend, and the daily's not looking too bad. So maybe it's not going on at the moment, but just watch it carefully. I think if it can start breaking again back over $8, maybe this little trade up to $8.50, and could make possibly a little bit of money out of this one. That being said, I think this system that we're trying to use at the moment, just trying to buy a few of these stories off the daily chart with tight stop losses, it looks like it's working quite well. I like the price action of DTC. Whisper, like I said, hold in there. I think AIM looks very good. ALC's up 3% today, looking good. And like I said, we had a nice little profit of IGL the other week. Anyway, a few ideas for you there, and hopefully, and like I said, if you trade, just trade carefully. It's a very difficult market. We are expecting maybe this little bounce up for next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, but we are expecting more pain on the market. So be careful and trade carefully. On that note, thank you very much for listening to Equity Story, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.